Ferrari's approach to the 2026 Formula One regulations has quietly diverged from the paths taken by Mercedes and Red Bull, and that divergence may end up defining the competitive order of the next era. While most attention has been placed on electrical power increases and sustainable fuels, the real battleground is once again the internal combustion engine, specifically how far teams are willing to push it under the constraints of legality, material science, and thermal tolerance. The 2026 regulations drastically reduce fuel flow and increase reliance on electrical deployment, yet the combustion engine remains responsible for roughly half the total power output. This creates a paradox. The ICE is more restricted than ever, but its efficiency and durability matter more than at any point in the hybrid era. The teams that extract marginal gains here stand to unlock significant performance advantages. Mercedes and Red Bull are believed to be pushing aggressive combustion ratios well beyond conservative interpretations of the regulations. The legal compression ratio is expected to sit around 1 to 8, but sources within the paddock suggest both manufacturers are experimenting with ratios approaching 1 to 16. On paper, this is not explicitly allowed, yet enforcement is extremely difficult due to how combustion efficiency is measured under transient conditions rather than static ratios. The result is an estimated gain of around 15 horsepower, small on paper, but massive in a field where lap times are separated by tenths. To make this work, Mercedes and Red Bull are relying heavily on aluminum alloys for their engine blocks and internal components. Aluminum offers clear advantages. It's lightweight, dissipates heat quickly, and allows tighter packaging. However, aluminum also has a lower fatigue threshold when subjected to extreme pressure cycles, especially under high compression and sustained temperatures. This means the engines operate closer to the edge of mechanical failure, requiring aggressive cooling strategies and conservative usage windows during races. Ferrari, on the other hand, has taken a fundamentally different approach. Rather than chasing the highest compression ratios possible, Ferrari has focused on structural resilience and thermal endurance. Their decision to use steel rather than aluminum in critical combustion components represents a deliberate trade-off. Steel is heavier, harder to machine, and more demanding in terms of manufacturing precision, but it offers dramatically higher resistance to pressure and heat. By using steel, Ferrari can push the combustion process to limits that aluminum-based engines simply cannot sustain for long periods. This allows for higher sustained cylinder pressures, more aggressive ignition timing, and greater tolerance for knock under extreme conditions. While Ferrari may not extract the same immediate horsepower spike as their rivals, they gain something arguably more valuable: stability. Stability under the 2026 rules is everything. With electrical deployment capped and energy recovery tightly regulated, teams can no longer mask combustion inefficiencies with battery power. Engines that overheat, detune, or degrade over race distance will hemorrhage performance. Ferrari's steel-based approach allows the engine to remain in its optimal operating window for longer, reducing the need for conservative mapping late in races. The broader implication is philosophical. Mercedes and Red Bull are gambling on precision and tolerance stacking, trusting that manufacturing perfection and cooling efficiency will keep their engines alive at extreme compression ratios. Ferrari is betting on brute strength and durability, building an engine that can absorb abuse without flinching. If the 2026 season becomes a war of attrition, thermal management, fuel efficiency, reliability under stress, Ferrari's approach could quietly outperform flashier designs. The difference may not be obvious in early qualifying sessions, but over race distance, across hot tracks, and through an entire season, the advantage compounds. Ferrari's strategy isn't about breaking rules outright, it's about choosing where to push and where not to. While others flirt with illegality and rely on interpretation gray zones, Ferrari has built an engine that thrives at the edge without needing to cross it. In a regulation set designed to reduce dominance, that restraint may end up being the most aggressive move of all.